Welcome back to episode 56 of Defeating Weekly. I'm your host, Craig Olson. Thank you for checking out this week's episode, and please feel free to share it with others if you appreciate the message. Also, if you have any suggestions on topics or possible guests that you would like to hear on the show, please reach out to me and let me know those thoughts. I love hearing from you all. Also, if you are liking specific things within the different messages, please comment, like them, share them. It's great. It helps build everything and gets the message out to more people. Also, anybody that is on Spotify, I ask that you please follow Defeating Weekly on there. It just helps to reach more people as well. Last week, we had Pastor John Roberts on, and it was a great episode. If you weren't able to listen to it yet, I highly suggest going to Spotify and checking it out. This week, we are going to be talking about the concept that may sound a bit new to listeners, but I feel it's a very powerful skill to have, and that's the skill of being observative. As young children, we were always paying attention to our parents, seeing what they were doing, learning to try to do what they're doing and imitating them. Being a sports fanatic, I often see our boys doing the same things at younger ages. They were trying to copy things they saw me doing. And while it wasn't exactly how I was doing it, they were paying attention and being observative of what I was doing. However, as we get older, it seems like this skill kind of becomes lost and we don't really use it. The problem is that we wonder why others are more successful or doing things we wish we could do, but we are not really digging in. As an adult, the next comment is one that is often hard for us to follow, but the secret may lie in looking back at how children soak up information at young ages. If you listen to all the great athletes of our time, they all had someone that they looked up to, even in their careers. They watched game film. They tried to incorporate parts of their person they were observing within their own games. Kobe looked towards Jordan. Peyton Manning looked up to his dad, Archie Manning, and Dan Marino. And Tom Brady looked up to Joe Montana. All of these are in the conversation for all-time greats, regardless of sport. But they all looked up to and tried to imitate the actions of someone else. So they were being observative and observing how these people handled themselves, not only in their sport, but in life. In the same way, we should be finding people we want to be more like and observe how they're acting and what it is that makes them successful. Being observed happens in many professions, whether it's teaching, construction, desk job, wherever it may be. It doesn't matter. We are observed by our bosses. However, those types of observations are done more to talk about job performance. The observing I'm talking about is that peer-to-peer in which we're trying to learn more and become better with no possibility of having like job consequences in the negative respect. We're trying to become better. So your action steps for this week: number one, find someone in your job or a skill you want to get better at. If you're like me and wanting to learn how to get better at a skill such as podcasts, you look for another podcast that's of interest to you and someone that you can talk to and bounce ideas off of and observe their actions. Observing is a very active skill. Number two, you have to observe the person. If it involves listening to what the things that they do it. If it's something you can observe in person, even better. Just a little side note, just make sure that if you are going to go into a person's job and be observing them, that maybe you talk to them ahead of time and make sure they're okay with this because you're trying to learn. Most people in that case wouldn't mind being watched if they see that they are someone you're looking to as being successful and who they want to try being more like. And number three, take what you observed and try to incorporate it into your life. It's pointless to be observative to get better, but then do nothing with what you learned. So you got to use it. The most dangerous person is the one who listens, thinks, and observes. That was this week's quote by Bruce Lee. I hope you have a great day and defeat the weak.